out competing and practicing, they don't have to wear a mask, and that makes sense because obviously you couldn't breathe, and we probably have a lot more hospitalizations if we were required to wear a mask, while competing. But all other aspects, we're wearing the mask, when they're in the lobbies, when they're in the common areas of the building and so forth. It's just when they're out on court. We got an unstable internet connection. Did you catch that, Jim? Sorry, I know we got a little instability on the internet.
Yeah, a little. I caught most of it, but next question is, what do you see with these teams coming in for this tournament this weekend? What kind of competition? Or I know you guys are playing number 1 USC, but who else you looking at coming in this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's loaded. I mean, that's the number one thing. So on top of this being, essentially the best 8 teams in the country, you also have all the super seniors. So our roster is similar. You get that? No, it's fine. I think it's fine. Seniors on it, which makes us, stronger than sort of say normal this year. But almost every team across the board has that same scenario. So you've got teams with guys, North Carolina, for example, Will Blumberg is I think the second player in tennis history to be an 8-time All-American, and now he's back for his 5th year. So you got a lot of teams like that are just stacked to the gills with talent. So I think every single team across the board deserves to, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every single match is going to be a huge challenge for us.
Hey, Coach, how are you? I'm sorry, my video is not working for some reason, but can you hear me okay?
I've got you, Marley. Yep.
Okay, awesome. So how many super seniors are you returning actually this year?
So we've got 4 super seniors that are back. So we had 5 seniors last year. Guy Gomes has graduated and he's out in California. But so the 4 guys we have back: Alex Kovacevic, Noe Khalif, Vuk Budic, and Z Clark. So all those guys are currently in graduate programs, which is tremendous for them to get a leg up in terms of getting some post grad work done. So we're obviously thrilled to death to have those guys back here contributing for us this year, and also for them to be getting ahead, with the.
Sorry, you broke up a little bit again at the end.
I'm so sorry, Marley. So we're working on some internet connection stuff here.
Yeah, no worries.
So do you have me now, Marley?
Yep, I still got you.
Okay. So first off, let me just make sure you got, so Kovacevic, Clark, Budic, and Khalif are all 4 of our super seniors. And all 4 of those guys are currently doing post-grad work. So again, exciting to have those guys on our team, and also excited for their opportunities to, to get ahead academically as well for their futures.
Sure. Did it take any convincing on your part? I mean, what was the process in maybe their decision making to come back, or decide if they wanted to move on?
Khalif, they had already last spring during their senior, they'd already started their Master's of Accountancy program. So it was a no-brainer for both of those guys. They were going to be here this year, either of getting to compete another year. And then I think Z Clark would give his left arm to play in one more dual match. So, I think it was kind of a no-brainer for him. And then Kova, I think, was, trying to weigh the prospects. I think his first intent was to play professional tennis, but when it came down to it and you look at the opportunities, and there's hardly any tournaments in the US right now. Most of the tournaments are in sort of far-flung places like Tunisia and so forth. So I think it came to him, again, chance to, he's in a finance program, so he's getting a great start on a tremendous degree, and also getting to play here. So it's a little bit different for each guy. But I think one of our main things is we told this in the guys in the beginning, they don't know Illinois tennis anything. They've been incredible ambassadors for 4 years, and and we appreciate everything they've done. So any decisions they want to make would be just entirely for their best interest, because they've worked their tails off for 4 years prior to this.
Yeah, and is this like a coach's dream for you to maybe have your core group of veterans back, but also, you know, the new guys that you're welcoming in, just to kind of mesh them together?
It is. And again, I think, it would be different, maybe with different characters, but when you look at the quality of the leadership in that group, and the quality of people and personnel and their work ethic and their dedication, they're incredible models for our young guys. And so I'm so thrilled that the Hex and the Meisters and the Petrovs and Kenyades, the guys that haven't been here quite as long, are getting this extra additional time with those four guys. I think it's going to help us a lot as we move forward.
And what's the benefit just to playing, you know, some of the country's best teams this early in the season and kind of seeing where you guys are at?
Yeah, it's going to be really tricky because, again, we host national indoors quite often, and so we're used to seeing this level of play. But typically beforehand, we've gotten 8-9 matches under our belt, before going in against this level of competition. And we did an inter-squad scrimmage on Saturday night, and it was interesting to see our guys were nervous during that. It's been 8-9 months since they've competed, a lot of them, and so you could see the nerves come out there. Yesterday against Wisconsin, I was thrilled to get the victory, but you could just see that it's not normal yet to sort of be in that competitive flow. So one of the things we're going to have to do is, when you haven't competed in a while and you start competing, that's when sort of the bumps and bruises and all that stuff come out too. So we got to figure out a way where we can get through the weekend from a health standpoint, and then at the same time get some rhythm in terms of how we're progressing, and get the feel for the court again and the feel for competition. So practice can never simulate the game environment. I can promise you that.
Right. Was your like training period before the season shortened at all? Was that affected by the pandemic?
Yeah, well, this fall was, it was just start and stop for a number of our different guys. We've had, it's just really interesting how many times training got interrupted. And I think it was last week was the first day we had our whole team practice. It's August, and last week we did not have one day where we had our full team of practice. And so it was almost like, oh, we actually do have a team here to
So sorry, you broke up a little bit again.
No, I was just mentioning that that this fall training was interrupted, stop, start, again and again, numerous times. And we understand with the COVID protocols what we have to do, but it was incredibly frustrating for us as coaches. And it was just last week was the first time all year that we've had a whole team there for practice. And so it was kind of fun to have that. But man, it's been a challenging and frustrating go to to have so many stops and starts, and then it's really tough on the student athletes' mental health and their well-being as well, because they're consistency in their sports training helps their academics, it helps their mental health, it helps everything. And we've been very inconsistent this year.
All right. I think I'm good. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Marley.
Brad, I just got one more for you. I know with the other athletes and the programs doing their random, their testing every day. Do you guys have that same regimen? And have you guys had any positive cases that sideline anybody for any length of time?
Yeah, so I'm not sure the exact liberties, but yes, we've had some cases. We've had some sidelines. We've had contact tracing. We've had the whole run of things, and again, that led to some of the disruptions and so forth. We are going through the rigorous Big Ten testing protocols. We are not, they've tiered the risk levels of sports, and tennis is in the lowest tier, thankfully. So we're testing 6 times a week, combination of saliva and antigen. And through that, I think, needless to say, there's a tremendous amount of support, tremendous amount of resources committed to ensuring the health and safety of these student athletes.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you, guys. Thanks so much for this morning. Appreciate the time.
Thanks. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, Marta.